to Shrink Smoke Build. Today, we'll be setting up the pool.
Free! So the very first thing is, of course, making sure that the surface that I leveled for the pool last year, which you can catch in the description below in the pool playlist, is nice and level still. And then after that, of course, we're going to go through and toss up the ground cover or the tarp that I had laying around. Unfortunately, it wasn't exactly the right size. Well, that's not big enough. 18 feet 6 inches. I need at least a 20-foot square tarp because my pool is 20 foot. I would prefer something closer to like 21 or 22 foot if I can find it. So I'm gonna make a quick trip to Harbor Freight, see what I can find in terms of tarps, and we'll come back out and lay it down. Now, if you guys watched my older videos, I used the ground cover tarp that came with the pool. It's absolutely trash. It completely disintegrated before the end of last season. So I definitely want a ground cover. I was tossing up whether or not I would actually put one down this time, but I think it's just smart to put it down to preserve the pool. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to Harbor Freight and get that 21 plus foot square tarp if I can find it. Well, I just got back from Lowe's. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, so Harbor Freight doesn't open for another hour. I looked on their website and at Lowe's and on several other websites of local places that I might be able to get a tarp this morning. And nobody has a square tarp bigger than 2020. There are 20 by 30 tarps, there's 24 by 36 or whatever, but in stock, unless I ordered a custom one, which I don't want to do because I want to get this pool up today. So I haven't exactly decided what I'm going to do, but I'll figure something out, and we'll get it down and we'll get the pool up. Now, I definitely want a ground cover because last year there was one pole that was not on the tarp and it sank down into the sand. Can't be having that happen on poles this year. I don't want to use pavers. Those are an absolute nightmare and they can puncture your pool. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I do have some rubber like welding mats I might cut up and put those under the pavers, but I don't really like that either. So I will come up with something and we'll get this pool up. Okay, so the last one is always the hardest one to get in because you've got to tension it. So probably not going to get it right the first time. Gonna need to go around and put as much tension on it as you can. See, got about 6 inches that we need. So I just go through and push a little bit all the way around. Oh, look at that. Might actually get this in place. Oh yeah. Nice. And the ring is done. Sleeves. I did this last time. Now at least I only got 3 into it this time. Sleeves. Do not forget to put them through the sleeves. Alright, so as you get to these last few, you're going to have some that pop out. It just happens. Not really a whole lot that you can do about it. But just have to go back through and make sure they all get popped back into place before you set everything permanently. See, as you can see here, pushes it up so it's falling down. Gets more difficult the closer you get to the end. So putting all the poles in and snapping together the ring, it's by far the most labor intensive part of setting up the pool, but I wouldn't really call it the most difficult part. The most difficult part is getting everything centered, squared up. Got to go through and make sure this band is not all folded. That actually is structurally important once you get water in the pool, to have that band doing its job. So I'm not super worried about it right now, but once I've got about 6 inches or so of water in the pool, I'll go around and make sure that's all perfect. Same thing with the poles. Well, we just want to make sure for now that they're slid down. And then I need to get this squared up into my ring, which I have this little berm or cove where it sat last year, so I know exactly where my poles need to go. I haven't exactly figured out what I'm going to do with the whole tarp situation. I may throw pavers out here to where they're not on the tarp, because these will just go right down into the sand and then we'll have low spots, and we don't want that. That's as much as I'm going to show you guys on camera for the initial part of the setup. Everything else is just tweaking, going through, making sure these are exactly where I want them to be on the berm, making sure that these sleeves are where I want them. As you guys can see here, it's not the cleanest. Did a pretty good job of when I put it away, it being decently clean, but not perfect. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do here. I think I'm probably just going to start filling it with water. Then after there's a couple of inches on the bottom, scrub it. And I don't know. I may not mess with it at all. I may just scrub it and then let the filter take care of it. later. But so far, that's what we got going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill the camera and start tweaking this to get it perfect. I will tell you guys more about how I did that here once it's done. Actually, real quick, I'm going to show you what I do. So once I got everything fairly straight on the outside, not perfect, we'll go back and do that again. We'll actually probably go back and forth a few times before I'm ready to actually start putting water in it. But what I'm going to do is I am going to go around and get these wrinkles out as best I can. So what we do is really just kind of scoot the sides, kind of do a little hop, skip, and a jump. And that quickly brings the pool into shape. And then once you start filling it with water, you'll actually do this several more times, which will make it perfect with no wrinkles whatsoever. So I'm gonna finish that up, and then I will turn you guys back on once we start filling it. You can already see how well it's taken the wrinkles out. So now that I've got about 1 inch to 2 inches of water, I'm going to go through and completely smooth this out by taking the sides out. I went ahead and put pavers under the poles, which last year I started out that way and I ended up not liking it, and I took them out because it just didn't sit right with the pool. Made it a little taller. So I don't know if I end up doing the same thing again this year and just getting rid of them. But we're going to try it with them first. Well, let's go ahead and get this kicked out and smoothed over. So you're going to want to continue to do this up until it's got about 6 or 7 inches of water in it, because these will start to rotate as the water pushes down, and these will end up being straight up and down. So you want to continue to do this until that happens, and it stays that way. Because right now it's doing it when I kick it, but it won't stay that way until there's enough weight to keep it that way. Looking like we're still pretty level from last year. Got a couple of big creases I want to get out here. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. It's not a huge deal, although it feels like stepping on a rock whenever you get enough weight on these creases, so I prefer to get them all out because of that, but if I can't, well, oh well. Well, at least this part, even though it's physically intense, I get to do it with my feet in the water. Makes me pretty excited. Finally get the pool back up this summer. And man, I got creases everywhere. Oh, I should have smoothed this up a little better before I started filling it. Well, right after I started filling it. Oh well. Here's what it is. Better do my best to smooth it with my feet. I just want to get the damn thing up and ready to swim in. What happens when you wait until July 4th almost, finally get it set up? I just don't care anymore. I just want it done. That's pretty much going to do it. We'll come back, or I'll show you as I adjust them more, especially the outside pulls and everything. I'll run around and show you the pavers, let you know whether or not I'm going to keep them or not. But after that, next time you'll see us, we'll be swimming. Okay, second year in a row, I started with them and then just removed them because they really don't serve the purpose that I wanted them to serve without creating more problems than I want to deal with. So, bye-bye pavers for the second year in a row. At this point, the pool is at about 24 inches. It takes about 2 inches an hour, which is right at 24 hours to completely fill my pool on our city water pressure. Well, that's no good. I heard water flowing and I was like, wait, my pump's not on. And I've lost a good 2 inches out of the pool. I had it all the way up to the seam line last night. Well, crap. Guess we're gonna have to get a new hose. Well, it's completely flooded and sunk several of my pools. That's always fun. Let's go ahead and stick these guys in and keep that from happening. Oh, look. That's always fun.
Is it supposed to be running now?
Nope. There we go. Okay, so I'm back from Lowe's. And guess what, guys? Bilge hose, 6 feet of it, is exactly the same size as this crappy pool hose. So I'm going to cut 2 feet. It comes in these nice separatable joints that you can just cut. And I'm going to cut 2 feet to go from here to here, and 4 feet go to there. All for $10, which is about a third the price of 10 feet of hose from like Walmart. Okay, we've got it all hooked up. 2 feet and 4 feet. The reason I did this is so that I can, if I want to, I can move this, strap it over here, which I couldn't do with the 3-foot section on both sides. It wouldn't reach. And that way I can actually move my pump a little further over here, keeping it out of the sun. I'll probably end up doing that here in a little bit, but for now I just want to see if this works. So let's go ahead and open these valves and then crank it on. No leaks so far. Looks to be holding. All right, now let's see how it does under pressure. There we go. I had to hit the reset button. Crank right up. Seems to be working good. Well, that's a nice, cheap, easy fix. Bilge hose in the plumbing section at Lowe's for $10. 2, 3. After having the pool up for roughly 3 days, I Got a little too excited on that first day when everything seemed to be nice and perfectly level, because when that hose burst and it leaked about, I don't know, about 200-300 gallons out, it leaked it under from here, and I think it went that way because, as you can tell, that one particular pole is sunk way down. That one right there, probably a good 2 inches or so below where it really should be, bringing the whole level of this side of the pool off. If you remember last year, we had the same problem, but it wasn't nearly as bad. So I'm just going to write it and hope that it does not get any worse. If it does, then I will try the jack method to get that jacked up and get a paver under it, because I do not want this pool collapsing. All right, guys, that's it. We got the pool finally set up here on July 4th. Happy Independence Day to you guys here in America. And that's going to do it. Much love. Billy D, swimming on out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. Peace.